Good afternoon and welcome to the Weather Gurus channel. I'm your host Tony for this August 20th, 2020 edition. I want to talk to you about Tropical Depression 13 and its chances of becoming the next named storm, which could be Marco for this one because Tropical Depression 14 most likely is going to get Tropical Storm Laura designation probably sometime at 11 p.m. tonight Eastern Time. So we're moving on to Depression 13. Right now, the current winds are at 35 miles an hour. The minimum central pressure is holding steady at 1,008 millibars and is moving quite fast at west-northwest at 21 miles an hour, being stirred around that high, Bermuda High, and that stirring currents in the Atlantic Ocean. So this is Tropical Depression 13. And right now, as of the 2 p.m. advisory, it's still moving along pretty fast. And so they've issued some tropical storm warnings, watches in effect for Saba, St. Eustatius, St. Martin, Antigua, Barbuda, St. Kitts, St. Nevis, and Anguilla, and some of the northern Leeward Islands as the system moves on. So they'll get some squally weather today, but those interests should be okay. There should be minimum damage associated with this depression or any type of flooding or anything like that should be out of the question. But the main question comes later on in the forecast period into next week, Monday and Tuesday into next week, as the system approaches, could be Florida as it's stirred around the Bermuda Azores High, and it could be at hurricane status there. Now, there's some question marks with this, obviously, and I want to share with you some. I'm going to share with you the sector view here, and I'm going to share with you some of the question marks here. This is Tropical Depression 13. Right now, it's battling some dry Saharan air dust, and a dry air is coming in on the western side of the system, and in the northwestern side of the system, it is battling that. It is also battling a little bit of wind shear, too, as well, but that's supposed to relax in the forecast period. The issue with this system that's going to inhibit it is this development, is this organization. There's good outflow, but there isn't good inflow in the system, and so that's going to inhibit the development in the short term. I'm talking about in the next 24 hours. Once that could change, okay, but looking out ahead of the system right now, we see these darker lines here. That's a bunch of dry air out here towards Hispaniola and also Puerto Rico. As you can see, the darker air, that's the dry air denoted here. However, conditions could change because we have TD13 up here that's moving along, and we have this stationary boundary that's moving along. So if either one of those, this trough too as well, associated with this trough, if either one of those conditions change, then that's going to open up the window for Tropical Depression 13 to strengthen even further into Hurricane Marco, okay? Because we have warm sea surface temperatures, and also the shear is going to be relaxing later on this week, possibly Sunday going into Monday. So if that shear relaxes in this zone right here, and this thing could really grow, I believe it can get up to a Category 2 hurricane if conditions are favorable. And I know there's many factors. I told you before, not just sea surface temperatures, but wind shear. There's also the factor of the storm's internal structure, like I told you before. If there's an eye, is it clouded over, a central dense overcast, CDO? Is there dry air affecting and being entrained into the system? Is there land interaction? That's one of the main factors. If this track is shifted further south and the system slows down, and it has to contend with mountains of Hispaniola, 10,000-foot mountains of Cuba, and all of that, you might also forget about it. It's not going to be a hurricane. It's going to be a tropical storm. Whatever Emerges from Saturday to Sunday, if this track shifts south over land interaction, then we may not have much to work with as it approaches Florida. It may not be as hurricane as approached right now. It'll be a tropical storm or less when it has to contend with these type of mountains over Haiti, Dominican Republic, and Cuba. So we'll have to wait and see. By Saturday night, we'll see, because this is where they have the system will be up here if it moves currently at its current pace at west-northwest at 21 miles an hour. Just keep that in mind, that we may have a stronger or weaker system depending on if it has that land interaction with these big mountains of Hispaniola and Cuba. So if the track shifts further south, then we will have a lesser of a storm, way less of a storm, than if it's on this current track where it stays above Hispaniola and above Puerto Rico and it continues just through the Bahamas like that. We could very well have a Category 2 hurricane, or possibly a borderline Category 3 hurricane, a major hurricane, approaching Florida, West Coast as they have it here. So, and Florida would be in the danger zone because they would be on the eastern side of this system, which has most of the convection right now anyway. So it just depends on that. And the things that it has against it, like I said, is the intensifying dry air, and also the structure, the internal structure of it is not real organized right now. Okay, so if it can't get its act together by Saturday night into Sunday when it's up here somewhere north of Puerto Rico and all that, then it's not going to be in good shape, so much to speak. But if it manages to avoid all of this land and just come up like this, like so, then yeah, we're looking at a major hurricane. This will be our major hurricane of the year. And there's another wave back here that's starting to get developed, but it's just the Hurricane Center only gives it I believe they give it a 30% chance of development because it's just now coming off African coast here. And yeah, only a 40% chance of development in 5 days. So we have to wait and see. But it does look very healthy in this view here. A lot of good convection here as it comes out the coast of Sierra Leone and the Gambia. But we have to wait and see. It's just too early to tell. It's too far out. It's over 2,000, 4,000, 3,000 miles out from the Lesser Antilles. So we have TD13, TD14. So stay tuned for more information about tropical depression 13. This one will be later to be designated. I anticipated this to become tropical storm Marco, but they will designate, the Hurricane Center will designate this one later. They will first designate this one as tropical storm Laura at 11 p.m. and this one will be designated as tropical storm Marco at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, at the 8 a.m. advisory tomorrow morning on August 21st. This will become tropical storm Marco. So thank you very much for the update. The Weather Guru, please subscribe, tell your friends, and we'll talk to you very soon. Have a great day.